Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I am using the brand new Greenhouse Haven kit to create a tiny house that has a greenhouse. Of course, when I saw this came out, I wanted to build a greenhouse, and I really like using new packs, new kits, everything to see how that can inspire me to create different tiny homes in The Sims, as that is my favorite thing to create. So that is exactly what we are doing here today. So you can see here I'm playing around with the roofing. We did get a new glass roof swatch, which I didn't notice when I was doing my overview of this kit, but it's really pretty. I quite like it, and I changed the color of all of the windows many times. You'll see how it comes out in the end, but this is the shape we're going to be going with, where there's a little bit of a more modern roof on the back portion of the house that leads you into the living space, and then the front portion with all of the windows is going to be a full greenhouse. There's lots of outdoor space on this lot as well, and we are building on the Hindquarter Hideaway lot, which is in the woodsy area of Brindleton Bay. So that's where you're going to want to place it if you decide to download this lot, and if you'd like to download it, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and that info is also in the description down below. Not only was I indecisive on the colors of the windows, but the wall paint, the front door, I changed that a bunch of times. The only thing I did know I wanted to use was the new windows, and also the new floor paver that I have out here, which has little weeds growing in between the bricks. I think it is so pretty, and I was very excited to use that. I ended up using it outside and in the greenhouse area, and I think it's going to be a staple in a lot of future builds. I just really like it. But as you can see, I'm playing with a couple of different colors here. I also brought in some corrugated metal, which doesn't end up staying in the end, and neither does this really tall fence. I was just experimenting and trying to figure out which items I wanted to use, and I didn't end up using all of the items from the greenhouse kit. For example, this little decorative piece that I have outside right now that has the table piece, I don't end up keeping that because I decided I'd prefer to have the functioning florist table, the flower arranging table from Seasons, so I end up moving that out later. But for a little while I end up having both of them out here. I wasn't really sure how I wanted the space to work, so I was thinking we would have more gardening stuff out here. But I end up moving stuff and making it so this is a nice little seating area, and most of the stuff is contained within the greenhouse. I also really love that wreath I put on the front of the greenhouse. I just think it is so pretty, and I played around a lot with landscaping. It took a while to figure out how this space should look, because I felt like having the more structured landscaping around the pavement looked a little odd, since this isn't connected to a road. This is in the middle of the woods. I always struggle with landscaping a little bit, especially when I'm using tiles instead of terrain paint if there isn't a road, because it just abruptly stops. So you'll see a couple of different things I try here. I try to fence it off, and I've used some of the low-lying fences a couple of times as well, and just try and cover some of the edges with different greenery. And here I'm looking through all of the furniture. I was like, oh, maybe one of these chairs would be cute here. And that's actually what inspires a little bit later the sitting area that I end up having, which I think looks so cute. And there's nothing wrong with how it is right now either. I just wasn't entirely happy with it, and I really wanted some outdoor seating. So we'll get that in the end. It just takes a little while to get to that point. I also placed down this yellow rug from Laundry Day, and I love it. It is so pretty. I don't think I've ever used it in that swatch, but we're heading on into the greenhouse now to play around with some of these plants. I can't remember if this is when we entirely decorate that space or if I'm just starting to plop things down, because I do a lot of that in this build and all builds, where I just place a couple of items and think I'm going to come back to that a little bit later. So it looks like we're actually fully furnishing this now though. So we have some seedlings. I got some of the base game and gardening decorations as well. A couple of decorative plants in here. This space isn't entirely functional because obviously all of this is just decoration, but I do put 3 planters on the other side of the greenhouse, so your Sims can actually plant some stuff in here. But I wanted to use a lot of the new decorative items that we got with the greenhouse kit. I do feel like it was a missed opportunity to give us some new functional planters. I don't know why we didn't get that in this kit. It would have made so much sense, but whatever. It's fine. I do really like the decorative pieces. I don't know how often I'm going to use a lot of these, with the exception of that one little plant that has the vine trailing off of it. I really like that plant. It might be one of my new favorites in the game, but I don't build that many greenhouses. I do really like them. They're just not something I build a lot of. But anyway, over here you can see those 3 planters. Those are from Debug with, I think they're with Outdoor Retreat. I just like them because they look a little bit more handmade, and I like that they're square, so they fit nicely in that space. And I got some hanging plants, and as you can see here, I'm starting to move stuff around. That flower arranging table will be everywhere on the lot multiple times. I just kept moving it out of the way because I was like, I want to use this, but it's not working here, and I don't know where to put it, so it just keeps moving around. But this is that seating area I was talking about. I used a couple of chairs from Island Living paired with this love seat from high school years, and I just think it looks so cute. Of course, we have some of those decorations around as well from the new kit, and then we're trying to figure out the layout inside because it's a micro home. This is like very tiny. I don't remember exactly how many tiles. You could probably see it at the top of the screen. Oh, I think it's at the top. We're a 32 tile micro home. So figuring out the layout was a little bit challenging, but I figured it out in the end, and I really love how this space looks. So I end up having a little dresser over here, which is how your Sims can get changed and stuff, but also it was a good space to put like a television and some personal clutter and all of that. So we have a kitchen space as well as a bed and a couch. There is no table and chairs in here, but I do have a picnic table that I will be putting outside. I imagine your sim probably is going to want to spend a lot of time outside on this property, so I thought that that was fine. Trying to figure out the flooring in this space now, I thought this deeper tone would work a little bit better, this like orangey wood tone to match some of the other furniture pieces I have in here. And at first I used this herringbone tile in the kitchen. I do keep it on the walls, but I don't keep it on the floor. I end up swapping it out for an indoor tile that has similar vibes to the one we have outside, but doesn't have weeds growing through it. It took a while of trying a few different tiles to figure that out, but we'll get to that momentarily. I'm just cluttering up this little dresser space. Here I am figuring that out, and this is the one I end up going with. It's like yellow and brown and gray. It's nice. It's just not one I use very often, which was kind of refreshing. I like when I can use items I don't use very often or swatches, so happy with that. I also used this gorgeous green wall. I forgot we had that swatch, and I love it so much. It was perfect for this build, and I got a couple of paintings up above the bed. We definitely have more of a boho vibe going on in here, but it's kind of like mixed with modern, and I think it came out really nice. I really, really like this particular tiny home, and this was another one I built over on Twitch, so if you'd like to join us in the future, you are more than welcome to be part of the process and seeing these builds come together live. I do stream 3 days a week over on twitch.tv/Gryphi at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. It's a lot of fun, but you might recognize it if you were in the stream earlier in the week. That is why this looks familiar. We actually did this during the same stream as the apartment I posted yesterday, the like rundown, destroyed apartment. I streamed for a really long time because I was excited about the kits. So we ended up doing 2 builds, and this is the second one, and I loved how it came out, so I wanted to make sure to share it here as well. So yeah, I'm just figuring out some of the landscaping now. The outside is really coming together, and the inside as well, it's pretty much done. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, where I want plants to be, where I'm going to finally put this flower arranging table that has moved around the lot so many different times. I'm still figuring it out, and I ended up using this like weird little planter on the ground that is kind of shaped like a bean, and placing some more plants in there and kind of covering the edge of the pavement so it looks a little bit more round on that side. And then we have a low-lying fence over here to kind of separate out the space. And then I used this particular terrain paint to try and continue the tile. Obviously, it's very different in shape, but the colors from a distance kind of blend together. So that's why I decided to use that one. I thought it worked pretty nicely in this area and gave the illusion that it's just continuing out of that space and kind of fading off in the distance since, you know, this doesn't connect to a road. Also, I will probably have this uploaded on the gallery where it's like a side of the lot because I did rotate the lot when I was building this for better lighting. So it's probably not going to look exactly like this on the gallery. So apologies for that. But at this point, we still haven't placed the flower arranging table. It's going to go right over here with these little stone pavers leading up to it. But it took me so long to figure that out. And then also somebody in chat was like, oh, we need to have a swing set here. And I was like, I know just the one, which is the one I just placed down, which is from the little Campers kit. It is so pretty with the greenery growing up the sides. There's some more fun swatches as well, but I thought that that more neutral one fit this a lot better. And then I'm just getting more plants all around, some of this like low grassy pieces and a lot of the hydrangeas as well, and erasing and redrawing terrain paint. I was being very indecisive with this, and that's okay. That's just how it happens sometimes. I'm overall really happy with the end result, so it was worth the going back and forth and erasing things and redoing it multiple times. And I cut some of that out because it was pretty time consuming. But here I am extending this fence. The fence in the front I thought worked really nicely with this space, and it is from the Werewolves pack. And this is where I extended some of the terrain paint to add a couple more outdoor planters, but also a place for your Sims to sit down and eat. So I used this picnic bench, which is from Journey to Batu. I love that picnic bench. There's just something about it, how it has like the individual stools and they're slightly rotated. I really like it. It looks so realistic. So I used that there. Got a couple more planters and our trash can. Don't want to forget that. And you can see the mailboxes merged into the fence. I also got a couple of pieces of clutter to put on this table. So I have some like planters. I think we get a candle. Yeah, and we have one of the little seedlings as well. I think it's pretty cute. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so very much for watching. Enjoy the screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.